Hey YouTube, Donald here from Music in the Making. I wanted to make a video showing how I go about mixing. I'm just gonna kind of have this video be like an over-the-shoulder sort of thing, where you can just kind of watch what I'm gonna do. It'll probably take a while, um, but I just wanted to let you kind of in on my process here. Basically, what I do, I've kind of already got the basics set up here. I turn off all the inserts, and all the sends. Yellow is everything's bypassed in Cubase, and then I turn down all the levels. I do have my buses or group tracks in Cubase set to 0, but if I hit play, nothing's gonna happen. You can see the things going, but you're not getting any levels. So I like to have those all set to 0. I like to have these. You might ask, well, then what do you need them for? I like to have them in case I want to do some stuff on the whole track itself rather than the individual track. But basically, you're going to just get rid of those for now. I don't need to see those. And then I'm even going to get rid of this side over here. And we'll do the mixing kind of left to right is how I've got my tracks organized, how I want to do them. So we can go ahead and get started here. I'll bring up the drums. I am using the K20 monitoring system, so I kind of want to keep an eye on where this is at when I get started, so that I'm not going too hot right off the bat. So this is actually probably a little much. That snare is kicking it up into the red, so I might even bring this down a little more. Try that. We'll see how that goes. All right.
Gonna get this started, let's look ahead and give it our best good change.
I don't know why I did that. Alright, go back to the beginning here. So I've got these, like, this is just my regular actual SVT3, and then I've got a Sans amp that I kind of use for the low end of that, like the kind of beefy part. Mix that into taste. I want to make sure I don't lose the drums here. 20 might have been a bit much. I just don't want to get into the red just yet, just from the drums. So it looks like we're okay on the chorus. Not getting into the red, but into the yellow, that's fine. The drums are loud from a transient standpoint, so. Alright. I just want to do that. You can change the global meter settings to input, so I can see which tracks are actually having things going on. I'll check the post fader later, but I just want to see which ones are actually playing without having to bring them up. So it's so this has a VCA fader on. I don't actually want that. This acoustic guitar is really going to be more like texture than anything else. drums clipping. Oh, that was the input. Yeah, I have it pre. Okay. Let's go back to that. I will solo stuff more than I probably would normal, so you can actually hear what it is. This is a high-strung Nashville tuning, so these together is supposed to kind of sound like a 12-string. So that's why I'm just like blending this one a little bit. Check the drums again here quick. Don't sound very meaty. Okay, look at that. I was like, why is this not working? So this one has a group track on it I didn't notice there, so set that back to 0. Any of the group tracks can really be set to 0. See if I get any more. Don't do that over and over again. Okay. Because these two tracks are being routed to this one. EG1, you can see they're being routed to EG1, this channel, so that's why when this is all the way down, it doesn't matter what I set this to. So I've got to have that set. So I like to kind of, as I add each thing, I like to listen to it for a little bit and see if I'm losing anything that I added. generally I'm like checking to see if I've added too much and I'm like losing the drums, because I've had a tendency of like each time I bring in a new thing, I do too much of it, so I need to like put it in and then go, okay, how does everything else before it sound? So sometimes I've had to do it in the past where I like got through all the electrics and I had to go back through and I was losing the drums, so I had to just like highlight everything and bring them down so that the drums were loud enough. So I might have to do that again. But you know, there's no right or wrong way of doing this technically, so. Because I want the drums to be nice and punchy on this one, so. And granted, once I go through and start doing EQ and stuff, that'll carve out some room for the like low end with the bass and whatnot. I got tambourine here, might as well bring that in. I actually have a shaker on this one. I think it just made that track. I never did it. Get rid of that. I want this is the most important guitar in this song. I want to make sure this comes through nice and strong, but I don't want it to be overtaking the drums. So this isn't a guitar solo, but there is kind of like a lead line going underneath the bridge. I was just quantizing that to make sure it was in time. I don't think you really lose anything if you're quantizing like percussion like that. So this is by itself at that point. Want to hear how that transitions into that? Might be a little much. Yeah, and that is only playing in the first verse. Oops, wrong thing. Not this one. So in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just going back and forth on the number pad. You can, like, if I hit 4, it'll go to 4. If I hit 5, it'll go to 5. So I'm just going where I know the different parts are that I want to mix next. Since I wrote the song, I know where everything is. But that's what I'm doing if you hear me switching back and forth. I want to check the level of this, so I go to the beginning of the verse. 1. That's all sounding decent. Electric guitar 1 really builds it in. We're not going too much into the red. Choruses are going to be mostly in the red for the peaks, and then you can see this is the RMS level. Eventually this will probably be, once everything's in, probably close to 0 for the RMS level. Kind of what we're shooting for at the loudest part of the song. So let's start bringing in some of the vocals.
Remember you and what you promised to do. I need your breath in my life. Sometimes I feel alone. in my life. Lord, take
That one's a little quiet too. Bring that up a little bit.
I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me.
I just want enough. It's not clipping or anything you can see, but I just want to bring it up a little bit so I can mix it in a little bit better.
Let's look ahead and give it our best. God change us. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best. God change us. Sometimes my days go by and I can't help but wonder why I feel so empty inside. But then I remember you and what you promised to do. I need your presence in my life. Lord, come.
Oh, that's right. We bumped up this one, but not this one. So I'll just bring that up 6 dB as well, so they kind of match. How you can kind of like check is, so if I like play the beginning of verse,
Sometimes my days go by and
Just
I
watch where
can't
it's
help
at
but
here.
wonder why I feel so empty inside.
so kind of RMS is in here.
But then I
peeking up there.
remember you and
So if I
what you
go-
promised to do.
If I remember that, it was kind of peaking maybe -8 RMS in between 18 and 12. So if I go to the second verse,
Sometimes I feel alone like I'm not really. Sometimes I feel alone like I'm not really home. About to face the unknown.
alright, good.
But then I remember you and what you promised. Sometimes my days go by and I can't help but wonder why I feel so empty inside. But then I remember you. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back
I actually had a
to me.
question about
Lord,
this.
take hold of me. Show me the.
Let me correct that, I think. Something was sounding, it sounded like the show me was getting cut off a little bit.
Me, show me the.
Yeah, it looks like I moved it a while back here and made it sound kind of funny.
Hold of me, show me the.
Originally was probably back here somewhere. Let's see. Did I move this? Where did I move this to?
Hold of me, show me the. Hold of me, show me the way. Hold of me, show me the way.
Because when it was back here, it was almost like it was getting like, show me the way.
Hold of me, show me the.
Here, it kind of goes like,
Hold of me, show me the way.
so I didn't want, that was annoying me when I was listening to it before.
Hold of me, show me the way.
Because naturally there's a breath there, so you kind of need a little
Hold
bit
of
of room.
me, show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be.
Right, I think that takes care of it.
To me, show me the way.
Here, that sounds in the mix.
Lord, take hold of me, show me the way. Hold of me, show me the.
I moved it too far back now. It's out of time. Right.
Hold of me, show me the. Hold of me, show me the. Me, show me the. Show me. Hold of me, show me the way.
Somewhere in between.
Hold to your heart. Hold of me, show me the way. Lord, take hold of me, show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the
Sounds
sky.
better.
Show me how to be.
So I had all these like other takes in here. I think I wound up just using that one.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the stun. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the stun. Show me how to be.
Yeah, that's right. I did a couple other takes of like more aggressive.
To me, Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me.
Yeah, and then I decided I didn't care for him.
Lord, take hold.
Yeah, I went back to the original idea. So I don't need those anymore. I was feeling like I wasn't getting enough like oomph out of the vocal, and I think I could go the route of like having that more aggressive vocal line, but it's hard on my voice, and it's kind of, you know, like not sustainable. So I'm not the best singer, I don't claim to be, but I am what I've got. So I'm just gonna, if it sounds a little weird, then whatever. That is what
Lord,
it is.
consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Lord, consume
So I need a little more level on this guy
Lord,
too.
take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. To me, Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead and give it our best. God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best. God, change us.
You probably notice I keep doing things in like either 6 or 3. I like to do it in those types of increments rather than like 1, 2, 3, 4, just because then it's easier to know of like, does it need more? Is that too much? You know, you can ballpark it from, if 3 is not enough, try 6. If that's too much, then, you know, it's a little easier instead of going 1, 2, 3. And I think I saw somewhere that like Graham Cochran kind of talked about that sort of mentality of like, if you're not sure if something's too loud or too quiet, bump it up by, he might have even said 4 dB. I can't remember what it was in one of his videos, but I've kind of been doing that more lately, of just like do it in 3 dB chunks, and if it sounds better, like that one was, you know,
Get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best. God, change.
like that's not loud enough, and that sounds fine to me, so I'll stick with that.
Welcome to the world of the broken hearted.
I don't need to try and do 1.5 dB or 2 or whatever. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
Give it our best. God, change us. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way.
That actually sounds kind of fine just with everything at 0.
Lord, take hold.
Let's back it up one to see how loud that is in comparison to the bridge.
Welcome to the world of the broken heart.
So that vocal is quite a bit hotter.
Gonna get this started.
Might have to bump these up too.
Give it our best. God, change us.
I think I was recording everything a little bit quieter than I do normally.
Need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best. God, change us.
These are bumping. up. Oh, I recorded these really quiet then.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me.
I don't think that needs to be -3.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way.
Purdy. Okay, let's see if that's loud enough comparison to this.
Give it our best, God, change
Peeking out. Let's see. Make sure this is set to
Lord, consume.
post fader here.
Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead and give it our best, God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this
Kind of
started.
hover
Let's
around
look
-12.
ahead and give it our best, God, change
Sorry for the squeaky chair.
us. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold.
So these are
of
considerably
me.
quieter.
Show me the way.
I mean, they will have a cumulative effect, but
Lord,
we'll come back to that.
change us. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change. Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead.
I want to make sure that I'm not losing the lead vocal with these background vocals coming in.
Welcome to the world of the broken-hearted. We need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change us. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be. Lord, Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the sky. Show me how to be.
See, and this is where I'm getting to the point of like, I feel like I'm losing some of the drums here, and that can be taken care of with EQ and compression and stuff. But you kind of want it, like, this is why I'm taking so long doing this. Is you want to get it right in this stage. It makes the next part easier. So I might bring down the other stuff to make sure the drums stay hot.
To move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Lord, welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change
So that's going to sound bad because it's quieter now and the ear likes to hear things loud, so I got to kind of reset here.
Sometimes my days go by and I can't help but wonder why I feel so empty inside. But then I remember you and what you promised to do. I need your presence in my life.
Now the vocals are
Lord,
too
come
hot.
to me. Sometimes my days go by and I can't help but wonder why I feel so empty inside. But then I remember you and what you promised to do. I need your presence in my life. Lord, come to me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, come to me. Lord, welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Welcome to the world of the broken hearted who need to move, gonna get this started. Let's look ahead, give it our best, got change Lord, take hold of me.
Oh, that's okay. When I brought everything down, it brought down the tracks too. I didn't want to actually do that.
Lord, come to me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, come to me.
You see how it sounded without the vocals here for a minute. Because to me, the most time I actually spend is probably getting the band mix really good, because then I can just like sit the vocal on top of that. I know some people do the vocals first and then bring everything around them, but I'm not a vocalist at heart, so I really like making sure the band sounds good before I sit the vocal in, because I've had decent luck with just sitting the vocal on top of it.
But then I remember you and what you promised things to do. I need your presence in my life. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be.
Can't remember if I was going to use these vocals or not.
Lord, consume.
Bring these back in.
Hold me.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so let's see how that sounds.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to wind up using those. That's why I moved them on. Take the scratch off there. I was, because for me, background vocals, especially with, if you're doing your own background vocals, I don't mind having them be a little bit like auto-tuney, because that creates some difference so that it's not so much of the same thing. So you can probably hear that, like, let me back this up.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Way to your heart, I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, consume
You get, like, here that's kind of auto-tuney.
Lord, consume me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord,
like I can sing that high, but I can't sing that high very well. So both of these are tuned fairly hard. Like if you can see I quantized the pitch and straightened them out a good deal to get them to sound like that. Where was that one? Like here, where it really sounds. See how flat that is? Like if I undo that, then this is what it sounds like. You get that kind of wobble in it. So I kind of went through and I think like almost everything is pitched pretty hard. I like the sound, so it doesn't bother me that they're quote unquote auto-tuned like that. I like the sound it gets. So let's go ahead and mix those in.
Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me.
You do have, like, this background vocal too is a lower register. So you kind of have to have a little more level in order for it to be heard.
Show me how to be. Lord, consume me. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way to your heart. I'm going back to the start. Show me how to be. Lord, consume. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted. Who knew to move? Gonna get this started. Let's look ahead. Give it our best. God, change us. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted.
Alright, I think we've got everything mixed in.
Let's look ahead. Give it our best. God, change us. Lord, take hold of me. Show me the way. Welcome to the world of the broken hearted.
those of you that are paying attention, this is the same part as guitar 2, actually, on the bridge. Thought I'd kind of give it a cool sort of sound. It's overshadowed by but you know, it's those little things. So I want to be able to hear it a little bit. Then it goes into a full sort of thing. I just want to make sure that when it comes into the down chorus that I don't have to really like mess with the volume of the acoustic guitar. Whatever volume it is for the down chorus, I want it to be for the rest of the song as well. So let's check. That's sounding decent for that part, so it's in the first verse too. Let's see if it's too loud now. That's also something I do too, is like to see if you're hearing the correct thing is you can mute it and then you'll notice it go away, so when you bring it back in you know kind of where it's sitting. So like I might mute if I'm specifically listening for the acoustic guitar, I'll mute it. Sometimes my days go by and I can't help but wonder why I feel so empty inside. As opposed to trying to solo it, because soloing it doesn't really do you any good. Like, yeah, it sounds good in solo, but I needed to hear what it sounds like if I take it away. See how you lose a little bit of life there? It's not a prominent thing, but it's in there. Alright, well, I think I am pretty much good with my static mix. There's nothing else. All the stuff is mixed in so far. So I'll do, since this one kind of got a little long, I'll do another video of actually starting to do like the equalization and compression and stuff. So, but this is where I spend probably the majority of my time, is making sure that static mix sounds good without any plugins. You can see I don't have, no plugins are on. My inserts are all turned off. Gray means they're off in Cubase. And even on my group tracks, nothing's turned on there. Nothing's turned on my master bus. So, because to me, and from what I've, mainly learned from other people, is that doing the EQ and compression and stuff is you're using that to not necessarily fix, but to a certain extent, like carve out things. Or like if you're saying, you get it a decent sounding, you're like, but I wish I had a little bit more, high end from the good electric guitar so it sticks out a little bit more, then that's what that EQ is used for, not going through and like EQing it and then mixing it in. If you did the static mix correctly, then you already got the electric, in a good spot. You're just tweaking it to make it pop out where it's supposed to, roll off the low end, because you don't need that. That's what the bass is for. That kind of stuff. Helping it sit in the mix a little bit better. But doing the static part is really, really important. So anyway, that'll pretty much do it for me here. If you guys have any questions about what I was doing, let me know. If you like it, hit the like button and leave a comment. In the meantime, go make some music. I'll catch you guys later.